Hello, my name is Peter Westerman, and this is week one discussion board post for Theological Thought. And just a little bit, why is he doing a video? Professor didn't tell us to do this. I've done it for other classes, and some professors have encouraged you to do it. Others didn't have problems, so I figured I'd start off and just do one. I'm also going to type up something, so you can choose to keep watching this or just read what I write below. Either way, I hope that there's some value in this. I like doing it for myself because it helps me kind of get my thoughts out of my head as I say it out loud, and then I can more easily go and write something up. But anyway, this week we're asked to talk about the ideas and ramifications of engaging in responsible theological thought as you have come to understand theological thought. Man, the professor's book talking about thinking, man, I took a course on critical thinking, and that in of itself was like daunting, like, thinking about thinking, oh boy. But it is important, and I liked a lot of what the professor had to say there. But I think the ramifications of engaging in theological thought, and some of this idea is coming from another class I took where we read, I'm going to butcher his name, Helmut Thielicki, I don't know. A little exercise for young theologians is what the book was called, and it's an old classic, but basically saying, like, there's this perception of theologians, especially young theologians, who go off for their first year of college and they come back and they think they know everything, and they're turning off the church community to the idea of being academically minded when thinking about God. And it's this, like, almost butchering the holy and personal relationship that you have with Christ, to think about it in the same way that we think about things that we find in a textbook, would be to tarnish it or to taint it with like a science approach. I think that's the danger that we have when we're engaging, is that there is this kind of negative connotation that is related to theological thought, and we should be very aware of it when we start becoming students of it. But the interesting part is that, as the professor points out in his book, he says, if you're thinking about God, you're a theologian. And so the reality versus our definition of it is the connotation is in the word and the way that people think about theology, or what they come to the table with already in their mind. So I think that way of perceiving it heavily affects our responsibility to theology when we engage in it. We should be very careful that we avoid any pitfalls, like pretending you know it all and trying to teach everybody everything that you've learned, but to instead know your theology and then live out your theology. I took a philosophy class that was very good. The professor was a Christian. It was at a local community college, but a Christian professor. He went to a local church that I had attended once, and I recognized him. And he said, very first day of class, he said, one of the big things that people like to go home and do is they like to take their textbook, the course is over, it's Christmas time, and they pull out their book and they start sitting in the corner, and they're like, Uncle Paul is not getting enough REM sleep, and that's causing him to be stressed out and overtired, and it's causing his marriage to fail, and all these other things. Psychology class, not philosophy class. I said philosophy, not psychology. But in any case, you get the point. It's this idea that we could do that with theology, and we could sit there and we can go and we can talk to somebody and say, oh, well, your theology about this is blah, blah, infected by this person's way of thought, and you're, blah, 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 blah. And you can go off and spit out all these things that they have no idea what you're talking about. They're young, infant stage maybe, in theological thought, and all you're doing is oversaturating them and making them feel self-conscious and criticized when they should feel encouraged and uplifted. I think that covers the basic of what I'm thinking about this, and there's more. There's tons more, and I look forward to reading what you guys have to say, and hopefully hearing back from you on some stuff that I'm missing. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I look forward to the discussion.